Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Worth Unlimited Agent Update and Sales Track Training Call. Thank you all for being so patient with us this evening. We still have people jumping on the call. Our calls, the last 3 calls that we've seen have literally doubled in volume each call. So you all are out there talking to a lot of people. You're out there inviting a lot of people. Hey, I just have to tell you, you hear John's excitement, you hear Skylar's excitement. I've always kept a little of a level playing field, but I'm telling you right now, I'm not being level anymore because this is exciting stuff that is happening now. I haven't seen this kind of energy. I haven't seen this type of movement. I haven't felt this type of oomph in so long. This feels like when you first just started to explode. It was just starting to really go. We're seeing more people signing up. We're seeing more sales. We're seeing that what we are doing and what you all are doing in the field is really hitting home. You're on the mark. Stay the course. We are going to explode this in a way that I don't think anybody really is even thinking about. We have a shot here. The time is absolutely right again in the market space. People that are coming on board are doing work. They're getting the job done, and they're using our tools. And I think the tools that we've created have really put a new flavor to this entire business and absolutely taken the heavy lifting away from the independent agent. Now, that doesn't mean we don't want you to know the product. We want you to get on the product. That's why we're offering the discounts that we're offering on the product. But I'm telling you right now, now is the time to get out and talk to people and send videos, send links, get them into your back office, get them moving. I am highly excited about what has been going on here at Worth Unlimited. And you all should be just as excited as well. With Worth Unlimited, the one thing that I think really helped us was this whole idea of a new messaging, moving in a whole new direction with converting your debt into wealth. I think that is the message we need to have out there, utilizing the bank's money that you would normally pay in interest to build your portfolio, to build yourself out into many different areas. That could be flipping homes. That could be multiple properties that you own and renting doors. That could be moving into other investments depending on, what you feel comfort with in your particular realm of investment, your portfolio, whatever feels the best for you. You're going to find that with this product, we have the ability to do so many things to help so many people outside of just paying off debt. We have the deepest respect for our military and first responders, and for that respect, we offer a 10% discount to any military and first responder that wants to get a lifetime membership with the program. And if any first responder or military wants to join the company, they can do so free of charge. For information in regards to that, see the Newsworthy blog. That's the news tab on your agent portal. You could just type in military or first responder discount, and it will give you all of the information that you need to know in order to proceed with somebody in military or first responder. We came up with a new agent activation promo. All agent sign-ups at this point are $49 a month. They're normally $149. I'm not quite sure if we have 49 days left. I don't know if that was updated in the system, but it runs till July 16th, 2019 will be the expiration date, and for that, use promo code START49 on that particular promo. Direct to director for the next 30 days, make one sale, advanced direct to director. And what I find is so cool about this is no longer is it a minimum of a $22.50 sale. It is now a situation where you can do it on any Worth account product. Full sale, finance sale, subscription sale, gold package, platinum, any Worth account products in the next 30 days of you signing up will run that direct-to-director promo. That promotion expires as well on July 16th, 2019 at midnight. To give you an idea of how strong direct-to-director is, if you were to become a director in your first 30 days by activating, and this is the way the promo will go after the expiration date, by activating a Worth Account Platinum or Platinum Plus in your first 30 days, then you move direct to director. And just to give you an idea there, you can see an agent's commission on an average sale of $3,100 is $496. A supervisor's commission is $605. You as a director on that exact same sale would make $714. We always state that we want to build teams. That's the way you're going to make money here, is through recruiting. That is where our focus is recruit, 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 recruit. Some people will be great performers, some will not, but get as many people in as you can and start building out your team. Because let's say you hit director and you had an agent or a supervisor underneath you. On that $3,100 sale, that would be your override on an agent at $217, and $108 would be your override on a supervisor. This does not include first and second level recruiting bonuses or any of the pools. In this particular promo, once July 18th hits and the promo ends, we will still have direct-to-director. It'll be based on a volume of no less than $22.50 per sale. So I think you can see right now, moving up to July 18th, this is the time to really get moving. This is the time to get your rank advanced. With Worth Agent wholesale discount pricing, our whole focus behind this is to try to get every single agent on the product. We have found that agents that own the product have a better personal story of success with the product, and it tends to close that gap. If I could say it this boldly, when an agent owns the product, they are bulletproof because they have the proof of the product working for them and their own personal story. In this 30% discount, an example would be retail be $34.95, wholesale be $24.46. That'd be a savings of $1,049. That's nothing to just shake a stick at. That is something to get involved in, get engaged in. The product works for people. We know this, and anybody that has ever used it knows the product works as well. Retail price of $29.97, wholesale price of $20.97. In that case, that would be a savings of $900. The qualifiers for this particular set of promos that we're running is 30% hold scale discount is applicable to first 30 days after becoming a Worth Unlimited agent. Current Worth agents have a 30% discount applicable on a one-time purchase or a subscription option. So if you're a current agent, you can take advantage of this up to July 18th, and the deadline, July 16th, 2019 for all current Worth agents. We also have the grandfather ranks in here as well, and all former You First can be grandfathered from their previous rank. Activation for that is use promo code AGENT30. Activation special, one level advance for all entry level. This is really very cool. If you were with You First and joined, you would have been a senior associate. You will come in as a supervisor. If you're a Worth agent, you can be promoted to supervisor. So how do we get started? Well, refer to this call. If you refer to from the outside to the home office, please get back to the person that referred you. We like to keep integrity in our agent lines. So please, I don't care who it was that invited you to the call, that got you on this call, get back in touch with them with how much you like this call and get signed up under that individual. If you were invited directly from the corporate office from emails that we're sending out and you don't have a sponsor at this current moment, feel free to contact us directly, and you can contact agent support at Worth Unlimited, and you can get that through email, support@worthunlimited.com, and the phone is 877-576-5563. Take advantage of all of these promos that we have. Take advantage of getting in touch with new people, old people, anybody that you can talk to about this product, and start filling up your back office. I'm telling you something, we are getting ready to see an explosion. I feel this, I know this, and this is going to take place, and you're either going to be in front of the cart and you're going to be making money, or you're going to be kicking yourself in the hind, saying, why didn't I get moving when I had the chance to get moving? Get in there, get moving, get engaged, and get people coming into this. You know that we have the new Replicated Client book site, and this is a great tool for y'all. I hope everyone has read their ebook and has that information in their belt. But I hope at the very least that you've been sending this link out to people to get them engaged. You're sending that book out to people. You're sending your Replicated site to people. Everything you need to close the deal is in there between the book and the information in the Replicated site. It does the heavy lifting, and we're finding this more and more and more. Like I said, we had tested this before we ever launched it, and we had great success with it. Now that we've launched it, we're seeing the success that we anticipated, and we're seeing the numbers starting to rise exponentially, and that is a very cool thing for us to see. In the Replicated book sites, you have your agent side of your agent branding for your agent site, and that could be your agent ID, or now you have the ability to go in and you can change your agent ID from 101 23225 to super agent, or your name or the name of the company. The idea behind this is casting a large net. When you cast this net, you can cast it through your back office and track everything that takes place with that, and you can target to specific prospects based on their ID inside of your system. So this allows you to be able to target different people on different types of emails and information that's going out to those individuals. The Replicated video site, client video site, we have that site as well, so you have an agent side and you have a client side. And in that client side, we have the same thing. You have your agent ID number and your videos. You can rebrand yourself for the clients under super agent /videos. And again, you're just casting that broad net through your contact system, and inside of that contact system, that ability to be able to target very specific individuals. Now, I know that you haven't heard me do a lot of training lately, but we have so much stuff, and Mr. Steve Young has been doing a lot of the training, and as you know, it's some of the stuff I used to train on. He's bringing a whole new flavor to the table. I think it's what's very needed for the company. We've been hearing from John Lashenko and Skylar Whitman on the calls on a regular basis, which I think is really helping to bolster this. I want you to know something. As a company, we are 100% all in. And with this having been said, I'm going to turn some time over to Mr. John Lashenko. And Mr. John Lashenko is going to walk you through a couple things a little bit, and he's going to take you live tonight again. So this is what I always think is the coolest thing, is when we go live and we can see this live information. So without any further delay, thanks to Skylar Whitman, John, the team here, everything that's being done and being put together, I want to tell you, people, if you haven't gotten the message yet, we are moving in a new direction. We are on the move, and we are making this happen. Get in, get turned on, and get making money. Here's Mr. John Lashenko.
Mac, thank you so much. Guys, I just hope you can feel that excitement that is coming through Mac's voice. I mean, things are just starting to really pick up, and people are starting to get on fire. A couple other things that we want to just kind of walk through real quick is when you log into your back office, you're going to see these steps pop up for you. Read the book. Download the ebook. Read it right now. Continue reading it after you've logged in. So not only are these steps for you to do, but your upline, as we went over last week, is going to be able to see, hey, this is something that you need to do or finish doing. Run your analysis. Get a 30% discount. Get started. Run your analysis. So activate your account. Don't lose that time of that 30% discount. I mean, that's a huge discount. You don't want to miss out on that. Build your team. Very important. Huge. Run your first client analysis. So these are all steps that you need to take to start hitting success and starting to build your team and making things go. And as you click those links, it takes you to the place in the back office to start doing those things. Close your first first sale. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to jump into this a little bit. I got a couple of cool things, so we're going to pretty much just go live, but I wanted to just take 1 second here. So here we're going to go live. Now I've done this in a little bit of a, I hope this works out. So basically I'm not supposed to be logged into the back office in multiple different ways, and I am. But I've loaded the page, so I'm crossing my fingers that this is going to work out good, because if not, I'm just going to have to kind of go into a backup PowerPoint and more talk us through it. But it's a little bit better if we can do it live. It works out a little bit better. The tools are meant to be live for you in your back office, and so it's just a lot better if I can do it live. So I've kind of rigged it up a little bit, and hopefully it's going to work out for us. But anyways, this is your new career path. So this is the new stuff that we've launched this week. It just went live a few hours ago. So right here where it shows Worth Unlimited Career Path, hopefully you can see that. This is, agent, supervisor, director, managing director, executive director, senior executive director, managing executive director, and partner. So those are the ranks that you have to accomplish and jump into. Here's your current rank right now. So we're logged in right now, super agent, we're an agent. Our next rank is supervisor. So here you can see the next rank right here, supervisor. Now I don't want to overwhelm you, so I'm going to try and open this up real small, because like most comp plans, they're a little bit detailed in what you have to do and what the requirements are to advance to the next rank and that kind of stuff. So what we're going to do now, and we're going to build on this a little bit, so might be a few things that you're saying, oh, I wish they had this. Well, we're going to have more things coming. We're building on it as we go. But I'm going to go ahead and show requirements. So these are the different careers that you can hit to. Hopefully we get everybody on this call up to partner. And here's the requirements to get you going, and basically one step at a time. And let's see here. So now there's either of the following. You can open or close these. And so I'm going to go ahead and scale these. Okay, so basically when I open it up, it just opens up all wide. So you've got either, and then it's just a little bit overwhelming, so I'm collapsing some of these things. So either the following: qualify direct to director. What is direct to director? Well, let's look. As we open this up, it's one personal sale within your first 30 days as an agent, or if there's a promotion going on, personal sale between April and June 8th. So you've got a few days. Let's bust it, So that's the one way to qualify to director. Now this is saying supervisor, but this is here's either of the following. So one is direct to director. We're going to bypass supervisor, so we're going to jump from supervisor to director. And then the other is the traditional path. Now the traditional path is always going to be there if you miss this, if you miss direct to director, but we're going to go ahead and collapse that for a minute so that we can just see the traditional path. So we've got $2,100 in volume here, and we've got $2,100 remaining. As you mouse over things, it's going to give you a little tooltip. One lifetime personal activation, and 4,000 in branch volume, and two lifetime branch activate or two branch activations. So in this we've got or. So this is the different ways that you can get to supervisor, or you can bypass supervisor and go direct to director. So it's either or qualify for direct to director or traditional path, and then personal requirements and branch requirements. And branch requirements has either 5,000 or 4,000 in branch volume, which is like 2 sales, or 2 sales, 2 activations, which could be subscription sales, It could be a gold sale and a platinum sale, whatever. So 2 activations. So 2 activations is going to get you there, or $4,000 in branch volume. So, but now you've just gotten to supervisor if you go the traditional path. So obviously we want you, and you want to push to director. So if I collapse this, we can focus on just these requirements. 1 sale. So easy to see. Hopefully, with as detailed as that got, hopefully that's not too bad. So anyways, now I'm going to jump into my next look at Super Agent. Now here I am under Super Agent, and my next rank is Director. So here I'm going to go ahead and show requirements. Some of these I've already got them opened up, but I wanted you to see that to get to this next step of what I got to do is I got to open it up. So either qualify for direct to director. So on my career path now, I am a supervisor. Now this is all the new tools. So this is brand new stuff. If you have questions on it, we might need to have you call in support or whatever. Rewatch this recorded webinar. And I know that there's a lot on here, so believe me, I know. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible, but basically, we're a supervisor. Now, right now, we've got time between April 8th and June 8th that we can hit direct to director with just 1 sale as well. I just closed the traditional path. So either the following, this or this, direct to director or traditional path. Now, direct to director, we know what that is. Make 1 sale, okay? And it doesn't even matter what kind of sale that is anymore, just 1 sale. Hit direct to director. If you miss that and you've already been an agent for more than 30 days, then this is your path. So in this scenario, Super Agent has done 3923 in volume and in branch volume and 2 activations. So we can see we've got 4 remaining, or we've got $8,077 to hit director. So that's to take me from supervisor to director. Now, obviously, that's a lot harder than director. So you want to hit director. You're just going to make more money. It's going to be easier, but that's it. Nice and opened up. So here's your personal requirements. So they'd already started down this path because they missed the first 30-day window. But now, if we can hit it, we can still qualify it with just 1 sale. We're going to bypass this volume here, this $8,077 in volume. We could do it 1 sale of $3,500, and bam, we're direct to director. So that's a look at Super Agent going from supervisor to director. So now we're going to jump into my next scenario of supervisor, or of Super Agent, which is we're already a director. So our career rank right now is director, on director path. So that's where we're at. We've already hit career rank director, and now we got to jump into managing director. Well, what do we have to do to get there? This is what's so cool, is these new tools, this new tool right here is showing you everything you've got to do. So I click the Show Requirements button, and it opens it up. Now I'm going to close some of this. I didn't mean to close that one. So I'm going to close. So I've got traditional path or direct to director path, but we've already hit direct to director. So we went down the direct to director path. So the traditional path is basically I've got to go $8,400 in volume, lifetime personal volume, or 4 lifetime personal activations. So, and there it is. So that's an either or. So hopefully that makes sense. So this is our traditional path. We've got $8,400 in volume. So we can do it either in volume or activations. Either one, whatever gets you there faster. So if you got, three sales of, $37.95, then you're direct to director. Or if you did, 4 subscriptions, your direct to director. Whatever is going to get you there fastest, it's an or requirement, so you're going to get there. So this is the traditional path, and $2,800 or $28,000 in branch volume. So you've got to have both of those. So or is I can do it either way there, and is I've got to do this also. So 14 remaining activations in branch, and as you start filling in volume, it's going to fill in this green bar and let you know where you're at. Also, you can see as you mouse over, remaining volume, $8,400. So that's the traditional path. Now, we had already filled in direct-to-director path, so it says qualified or qualify for direct-to-director, but it's checked in green, so that means we've qualified on direct-to-director. So now, here's what we've got, and we've got 17,795 branch volume, so that's going to take me from director to managing director, and then $5,995. That's roughly 2 sales or 3 personal activations lifetime. So hopefully you can see branch requirement 17,000 versus, and then personal volume is 59.95. Now, if I open up traditional path as well, we can see them all side by side, and it just gets a little bit. I don't want it to be too overwhelming, because when you're looking at it the first time, it kind of gets a little bit overwhelming. But here we've got $8,400 in lifetime volume, and then $28,000 in branch. So now let's look at this. Let me scroll this down just a little bit. So we've got right here in personal requirements, we've got $8,400 in personal volume versus $59.95 in personal volume. Because we've already qualified for direct-to-director, we've got $28,000. Now this is, what's the difference in here? This is the traditional path versus the direct-to-director path. Okay, so traditional, or, so these, you kind of got to follow these grid lines here. So, or right here, direct-to-director path. And so our direct-to-director path in branch volume, we need $17,800 roughly, $17,795 in volume, in branch requirements. So that's our branch volume. So our team has to help us make a few sales. And then 9 activations, or 9 activations. So this is an or. And then personal requirements is 5,900 versus the 8,400, 28,000 versus 17,795. So obviously, by hitting direct-to-director, we made our path a lot more simple. Our path is gotten a lot easier because of the direct-to-director all the way through. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our next example of super agent under a different rank. So here we are, supervisor, next rank as director. I think maybe, let me see if this is, so I hit expand again, pretty easy there. Now this is, so I've got, this is just a different view of me from supervisor to director with some branch volume filled in right here. We already covered this. I must have added that one on accident. But basically, let's move on to, so here we are, a director, moving to managing director with some volume filled in. So here we've done 15,400 in branch volume, and we've got 12,500 remaining. So we automatically can see exactly what's remaining on the traditional path, or on the direct-to-director path. We can see down here as well. So here we are on branch requirement, or the direct-to-director path. So we 28,000 up here in volume versus 15,000, 2,300 in volume. Basically, that's less than 1 sale even. That's you're going to hit it on a wholesale sale, full volume. And or you've got right here 5 remaining activations. So because we hit the direct-to-director path, this is the the path of least resistance. This is the path we're going to go down anyways. Now it just helps to kind of see that so that you can see how much volume you've missed, or how much you've been able to pass up, and how close you are to getting to that next rank. And so we can see that we're missing a little bit of branch volume because our personal requirements are filled in. Our personal requirements under the traditional path we would still need for we've got 4 of 14 lifetime activations. We've got 15,000 of 28,000, so we've got 12,500 remaining. But we're on the easier path, which was the direct-to-director path. And so on this path, we've got 2,300, and 15,500 is what we've done in branch volume out of 17,795. Because we hit direct-to-director, it filled in some of those requirements for us, therefore helping us to get going and move a little bit faster. So hopefully you can see that hitting direct-to-director is just one of those things you don't want to pass up. So now we're going to move on to my next template view, which is managing director pushing to executive director. So here in managing director, we've gone the direct-to-director path, so we're not even going to look into this traditional path. And our personal, we've got to qualify for, so we are right now selected as a managing director, and we're pushing towards an executive director. And we've basically got 34,000 of $49,795 in branch volume. Now, if I open up the traditional path, and now I don't want this to get too confusing, but as I open the traditional path, it's just going to show us what we bypassed. So what we are able to pass up because of this. So so basically on the traditional path, not hitting direct-to-director, we'd have to fill in 60,000 in volume. But because we did direct-to-director, it's reduced that down to 49,000, and we've only got 15,000 in volume requirements left to go versus 25. And our lifetime volume or branch activations is 15. So basically you can do it either or. Always, ever since we launched the new pricings and everything, you've got the or path. So you've got 49,000 in branch volume that you've got to hit, and we've already done 34,000. We've got 15 remaining, or you can do it in units. Subscriptions count, gold count, whatever it is, you got 15 units you got to do, or 15,000 in volume. And so you can see right there, there's your or path. And then here's your personal requirements left to go as well, completely filled in. 0 remaining, and we've done 8 of 7. So, and there's your progress bar right along with it. So hopefully that makes sense of how to graduate and move through the comp plan, getting you up to executive director, getting you up to senior ED, getting you up to partner all the way up here. Each rank is going to fill in again and again and again. Now, we've got a lot of people that have been coming on and been grandfathered in, and so I want to go over just a few more screens of how this works. So this is all the new stuff that we've been building in, and basically just making it a little bit easier for you to understand the comp plan, even though there's a lot of detail to it. After you look at it a little bit, it'll start to sink in. Once you look at the comp plan, understand it, get on the webinars a little bit, you'll start to see how this is, what is entailed and what's left to do. And this is basically in your back office under TeamView, and you're going to see this stuff. So, and it's live right there, right now. Now, don't jump away because we're still kind of going through this. So let's kind of go through this a little bit more. Okay, so what we've got here is we're an executive director, and our next rank is senior executive director. So what do I have to do to hit senior? Well, you got to get 2 frontline executive directors. And what you've got right now is you've got 1 remaining. So that's where it kind of gets a little bit easier. There's not a whole lot of explanation there. There's it's pretty self-explanatory, I think. I think that's pretty easy. So basically, earn the rank of executive director is checked off. We're done there. Leadership management required is checked off. So we're good there. All we need to do is get 2 people to do the same thing we just did. And now that we've laid out all the requirements every step along the way, so once you sign on as the agent, you see what you have to do to hit supervisor. Once you're a supervisor, you see what you have to do to hit director. Once you're a director, you see what you have to do to hit managing director. Once you're an MD, you know what you have to do to hit executive director, and so on and so forth, all the way up to partner. And right now, we're missing 1 executive director. Because we've got 1 executive director under us, we know exactly what it means, and we're 50% of the way of the way to hitting the senior ED. So now let's take a look at another view. So this is a senior or an executive director. Next rank is my next goal is senior executive director, and I'm paid as a managing director. Now, what does that mean? So my career rank is an executive director. That means I have hit executive director. But here's my branch volume requirement. So if you see this is basically you've got to have $5,000 in volume in 6 months. That's basically 2 sales. Or you can have 3 activations. 3 activations could be a gold, could be a couple of subscriptions that you got activated, whatever. And it's branch volume. So it's not even you doing it personally, it's your branch, it's your team, your entire team. And that's all you're missing. So basically, if you're not doing that as an executive director, so these are our management positions in the compensation plan. If you're not doing 5,000 in volume, we're going to bump you down to a managing director until you or your team hits this. You can do it or your team can do it. But I think that's a pretty easy requirement. I mean, it's every 6 months. So it's basically, in order for us to consider you a branch, you've got to have 5,000 in volume or 3 activations. Since we went and brought on, since we've gone in and brought on, subscription sales, you can do it either or. So here's your and here's your or. So that's all you have to do, and then 2 frontline executive directors will get you up to executive director. So that's what you're missing to hit from executive director to senior executive director. So, okay, so now it sounds like I'm running out of time, but I've got one more scenario to show you. So here we are as an executive director. Executive director, managing director is our earned rank, and actually, I'm sorry. So here we are, we're grandfathered in as an executive director. Okay, so if you were an old You First agent, you come on to Worth Unlimited, we've grandfathered you in as an executive director. So here it's going to show you've got branch volume to fill in. And so your next rank, so it's showing here that you've got branch volume to fill in until you've earned executive director. But in the meantime, you are paid as an executive director. And your next career rank will show up once you've done $49,000 in volume in branch requirements and personal requirements. You've done the same 14,000 with the remaining, because we've already got volume filled in here, we've got remaining $5,222 in remaining volume. Now, hopefully that makes sense. If not, we can answer questions on this, but basically you're an executive director grandfathered in. The system is still going to require you to fill in that volume of in your personal branch. And then it'll show you what you need to do, which was the same requirements, fill in 2 executive directors to hit senior ED, and so on and so forth. So with that, I've taken up a ton of time explaining the new system, or the new tools that we've basically launched in the back office. And now I'm going to go ahead and turn some time over to Mr. Steve Young. And let's see here. Steve, are you there?
I am, John. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you just fine. So, Steve, I'm going to go ahead and turn some time over to you. Hopefully you can take it away. Hopefully you got the keyboard and mouse.
I
show
do,
up for you?
Yep, there we go. I think so. So, hey, good evening, everyone. I got it now? Yep.
Yep.
So, everybody, thank you for the gift of your time showing up. A couple of things. First of all, is it not funny to listen to Big John? He sounds like a kid that just got an erector set, is trying to put things together when he explains all this. And I want you to know that what he's doing now is building the mousetrap. We got the best mousetrap ever. In fact, you're buying a franchise for $49 that has every kind of department. You hear me talk about that all the time. But that's so cool, because now we can get on the internet and go look at our own teams. And if you scroll up just a little bit, you can see what your downline team has to do for what their promotions are. Very cool tool to have, because it makes you focus and pay attention. On a side note, by the way, just want to bring a memory up too. Just for all of you, especially in the midsection of this country, give your prayers out tonight. If you don't say prayers, start, please. And in the morning, you bless yourself, and at nighttime too. Sorry, I'm preaching a little bit, but so many people are suffering with all those tornadoes and floods. Again, I'm going to make mention. And then we had the travesty up in Virginia of the knucklehead that shot a bunch of people. So aren't we blessed to be on this phone, to have an opportunity to talk about, to get excited about something? And those other families are miserable. The only thing that's going to relieve them is God's grace, and we can pray for them. So I just stick it on the sticky side of your brain tonight, okay? So moving on, I want you to know, I got to move quick. I've been calling lots of people, and I'm getting to know the team, and I love the personal relationships being developed. And I'm really key to find out. You heard Mac all excited tonight. It was great to hear that enthusiasm in his voice, the way it was coming across. And what I really loved is a lot of you first people are coming on board. And I want you to know that I'm getting to know some of those people, because not only are they coming on board, but they're reactivating plans that they bought and for one reason or another stopped doing. They only did that, but then they're offering it to other people. One case is, I called Maureen Farr. She just bought a house in Tampa, Florida, but guess what? She called me back because we were playing phone tag. You know where she's calling me from, folks? From Afghanistan. We're building a company from Afghanistan. How about that? You think you can't do it in your front yard? Maureen's sitting over in Afghanistan. Not only did she get her own plan, but she's offering it up to people and getting very pumped up about how to get started in this business and can't wait to get back to the mainland. She's serving our forces over there. She's a contractor in the military, and she's flying drones. But I love that conversation. Russell Alicia, he's from New York State. Okay, he came on board. He was from You First. Not only reactivated himself, went and sold his brother right away a plan. Put his brother in the plan. You see, and he's getting paid this week. So instant gratification for a job well done. Dennis Stewart. Now here's a guy that's out there going in California. He's moving. He does a lot of college planning. Made a phone call, came on board, wants to learn. Said, hey, can you coach me? Can you teach me? I love that. Okay, those are just some of the people from the old days. But I got to tell you, there's 3 large groups that we've been working with too. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to make this transferable and duplicatable. Want to repeat that? Transferable and duplicatable. What John just went over and how to get promoted, we're going to show you how it's done, because you got to learn the language of the business. Mary had a little lamb. She didn't have a goat. When you start realizing the language, is great. And by the way, Darlene and Harry Preston, they've been knocking it out of the park with sales and recruiting for the last month. They're kind of exceeding the rest of the pack right now. But I got to tell you right now, Joan Hockenstack is right on her heels, and along with the new person's coming on with his team is Brian Daly. Those are the 3 groups right now. They're heading up, and we did meetings for all 3 of them, and 2 of them were masterminding with their teams, putting together so we can make it very transferable. We're going to coach people what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And it's just like learning how to ride a bike. Once you learn it, you get out of the way. And some of the people under Darlene, so coachable. Lisette Carrillo, I'm going to butcher the name, Carujo, I think, and Miguel Carrillo. They're from Puerto Rico. They live in North Carolina. I can't wait to fly to Puerto Rico to help them build a business there. They want to go there and do it up. And then Susan Cowan, underneath Darlene, boy, she was sick as a dog. We gave them homework. They did their homework. It was complete and very thorough. And she talked about, and I wish I had it in front of me, I don't, but she wrote about having a second chance, and it was so well said, and I'll do it next week for you. She was just talking about, boy, a second chance to be somebody, a second chance to get financially independent and save her life. It was so good to be part of that. And today with Joan Hockenstadt, she had 8 studs and studettes on the phone. Okay, ready to prepare for what they had to do. They got their homework, and they're realizing it. There's 43 days left before the $49 program to buy a franchise is out the window. And then you have the 30 days to go buy your own plan. So, folks, it's about learning your business. I love those people. And, Darlene, you got Willette Davis is ready to go, Ted Taylor. You know, these people, Deb and LaRue and Tom Maria, these people are fired up. You know, and Kia just wrote in, Baker underneath Joan Hockenstadt. These are all people, you're hearing your names, Minor Ramos from Florida. They're saying, I want to be in the game. So what are we going to do? I'm just putting up on that screen now that you can see. This is just an example. Now, folks, next week I'm going to put up an abbreviated brochure. But you have so many tools, it's ridiculous in your business to use. You just got to get excited about using it. But this brochure in itself, if you just went and left it with people, just look at what the title of it says there. Now, I'm just going to cut right through it. Whoops, where'd that go? Let me bring that back. You know what, John? I just lost it. There we go. Let me do this. Sorry about that. My technical skills are always challenged, but unlocking the power. Look at that. You see what it says right there? We just highlighted. Why don't you go to the highlights? Pay off all your debts, including your mortgage, in half the regular time or less, right? Okay, who wouldn't want to do that without refinancing, no loan modification, and no lifestyle change? How important is that? Because most people think you got to refinance or do something different, you know, to your financial life, and it can almost wreck it. Okay, that's not the case here. Okay, and this brochure explains all that very well. And no financing, I said that. Okay, and we go right to the next slide. It's a little bit behind schedule here. You see no lifestyle change. I love that. Everybody thinks they got to refinance and go into debt again. Not so at all, okay? Now, that's just the brochure you see, but people don't read it. I want to highlight what you should be looking at, okay, besides that family. Look at savings and wealth analysis. Now, when you're looking at that, what's important about that, all right? Well, when you start looking at the words, and all you got to do is highlight it, the objective is get the saving analysis scheduled. That's what your objective is. See how you save and build wealth. Nobody wants to be poor in life. And when you're seeing that, you know, that little GPS system there, you know, how many people wouldn't want to have a coach? And I emphasize being a coach. Every one of you, either you've played sports or go to a sport, there's always a coach involved. Whether you spiritually, you've had a coach, you've had a coach everywhere in your life. Well, look at that. That GPA system navigates your system of finances. It's never wrong. Here's what I'm doing now, folks. I'm guaranteeing people that balk at this, you know what? Put up or shut up. You know what? Why would you pay a bank 30 years? I'm going to show you in 2 seconds. Why would you pay a bank 30 years or pay the bank all your money instead of your family? You got to learn to ask the tough questions. It's called tough love. And if you can get a system that will navigate your finances, if your mortgage company called you and told you something, okay, and told you what, okay, how to pay off your house a lot earlier and give you 20 years of payments back in your pocket, how fast would you operate on that? Okay, how fast would you act on that 20 years early? Right there. Okay, if the bank did that, you'd be all over it. So what I'm challenging people to do now, even my own personal life, 20 years early, that's 240 months canceled of paying a bank instead and now paying your family. How about that? That's incredible. Ain't that something? That's what we ought to be doing. I'm challenging people now that say, well, if they get stuck on even pay, there's no more excuses. It's done. You got a subscription. I say, you know what? Here, $49, you get a business in a box. If you do something with it, great. If you don't, so be it. You know what? Go get your own program now. Okay? And I'll tell you what, then because you get the discount you get $299, okay, and pay like $20 a month. And if it's not working for you at the end of the year, I'll reimburse you. How about that, folks? Why don't you start challenging people with your belief and credibility and what you're doing? This is mathematical algorithms that never get wrong. The burden of debt stinks. Now, unfortunately, those numbers are too small. I can't even read them to you because I can't even see them. But the point of it is, if you see that, it's all highlighted right there for you. Which side do you want to be, on the left or on the right? What do you prefer? Obviously, it's paying off all that debt early, and it shows you just exactly how it's done with all those bills. Okay, but I'm going to wing right through these because I'm running out of time here, but we'll do the best we can. Okay, so remember, these are just one brochure that we have, but I'm going to turn around and we point out your liabilities, how long they are, what is costing you in time. People don't realize it because nobody wants to know the truth. You know what? We all hide because nobody teaches us the rule of money. Money doesn't care who owns it. It only cares what you do with it. And so you got to direct money. You got to. I like telling people, I like having money work for me. I don't want to work for money. See, how do you do that? Well, listen, we got a program for that. Somebody asked me today when I was talking to one of the folks that called and said, well, how do you talk to realtors? And we told them right now, I'm giving you a bunch of one-liners now. Hope you write them down, or you can listen to this again. See, when we talk to a realtor or an insurance guy or an accountant type of person, I always tell people, how would you like to go to your competition and turn them into a profit center? Now, who would say no to that, folks? Anybody that's in business would be out of their mind to say no to that. Okay, and what we do is say, well, I got an interesting thing for you to look at, and it's actually really a hub in the heart to draw all business to you. Would you like to see it? Yes. And then how about results first? Let's not talk about this. Let's look at what your results are going to be first. Let's put them in the computer and run your own analysis, and it tells you your results first. It's proof in the pudding, and it's a coach. It's a financial coach. And you know what? It's never wrong. It mathematically does everything for you. It points out and optimizes every dollar you make versus every dollar you spend. It's the best thing in the world. You'd pay a fortune to have this done by somebody in a brokerage house, and it's not. So this brochure is there for you. Unfortunately, I couldn't blow up the numbers to let you see them good. We highlighted them there about getting out of debt in 9.7 years. That's there for you. Next week, I'm going to put up just a real abbreviated one-pager, because I like just to hand things to people, collect names and numbers, and give it to them to create interest. But this brochure is in the back office. You can order them from the company, and it's a great tool. And I'm trying to get out of this right now, and let me go right to the next, the next brochures, which I'm going to show you, because this motivated a bunch of people. They asked to be able to see it, and we're going to show it to you right now with regard to how to argue interest rates, because most people don't know interest rates. And you can see every one of those highlights right now, how fast they're out of debt. Again, you might not be able to read the numbers because I'm having trouble doing it, but it's highlighted there. That's all you got to do is go to the highlights, circle it when you're giving it to people, and watch them react, okay? And I love this. You want to owe or grow your money. Look at that. The green is your money working for you. That's an example. And down below, earn interest instead of paying it. And I love it because it talks about the different interest rates there, okay, from 1%, 2%, and even 5%. How about that, okay? And the truth is, if we went and ready to put 8% in there, people wouldn't believe it because it would be mind-boggling. Look at that. At 5%, it's over $1 million. So, folks, that's lost opportunity money. How about that? Going to someone else. So you want to learn to use that brochure. You can give it out. And again, like I said, next week we're going to have a one-pager to give to you that I'll show it to you so we can go right to work. And then you can decide what you want to do with all your extra money. It's learn how to dream again and do those vacations, do the retirement accounts. I love having money working for me instead of having to work for it like I told you. And the testimonials, by the way, in the back office are super. There's so much in that back office. If all of you just took an hour a week to review everything, you would absorb your business. And by the way, we had Rosemary on the phone this morning from New Jersey, Walling Haida, and she made a great point about, I've sent that book out to a lot of people, and you know what? People just don't read the book right away. You got to drip market. One of the recommendations I heard today I thought was great is, what would happen if you took excerpts out of the book and just emailed them to people? You know, people they like Evelyn Wood speed reading, right? They always like things in short, little choppy things. Well, what would happen if you sent that to them? Wouldn't that be great? It'd be excellent to be able to do. Now, I'm trying to advance this thing here, Big John, because I'm going for it, and I don't know that it's going to let me out. One of the things that we had on the screen is, and I'm going to dispense with because of the lack of the time, but I want you to know that next week I'll also put up on the screen for you all, is more of those sheets. We have it all the way for a $300,000 mortgage note from 3% all the way up to, I think, 6%. And it goes 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5. And it shows exactly what we talked about of your monthly payment, what percentage is going to the bank's interest and not going against you. And folks, it's legalized extortion. You will freak out when you see it. I love to have them as a tool because anyone that somebody tells you when they get a 4%, you can pull that up in a heartbeat and say, if we could prove to you you're not paying 4%, but you're paying like 73% based on how many years you got left in that house, would you want to fix that or know about it? Who's going to say no to that? It's learning the art of asking the right questions. And then what I was going to show you too, I'm going to recapitulate right now, is that we have a program that in 90 days you can become, right now, Big John just went through all that stuff to show you what your criteria is. If you're going to be a student and learn, and what do students do? They come in and stew, and they're coachable, and they listen. We will work with you. We start with you in your hot and warm markets. You know, this is not potion, lotions, and pills. This isn't oils. This isn't some kind of, gold and silver. This isn't one of those things, folks. This is their financial life. This is what they're doing with their money. It's not like any other thing you've ever done, and you all know that. But you ought to be getting excited about all the improvements that are made to help you build the business, because when you go and share this with people, when you present the common sense approach, there's no way to say no. So I don't mind going into the hot market. And I'm going to just say this, and please listen to this. We're going to teach you now how we're going to do the buddy system, because some of you're afraid to even talk to your family, friends, and relatives because you've done it before. Here they come again, all that stuff. Well, folks, you don't have to apologize for being right. We never worry about being politically correct when we can be absolutely right. Boom, shakalaka on that. You hear that? We don't worry about it. It's not politically correct to be throwing out your money, not taking care of your family. How about that? So we're going to teach you that verbiage. You get them on the phone with me or one of the other coaches and your upline teammates. We're going to teach them that language. We'll talk to them together. Okay, it's undeniable by creating interest in them, by asking them the leading questions, because you don't have to worry about it. Now, I'm going to tell you right now that we're going to teach you how to qualify your market. We're going to go for 4 and 5 pointers right away. You're going to have a list of 50 to 100 of them. I promise you to it. And you need to get your partner support. If you're in love and home and have a partner, they don't have to do the business, but they don't want to get in your way. They want to learn to cheerlead the business. You need to put them in touch with somebody that can articulate what this business is about and show them without forcing them or making them feel obligated. No, we don't want to be pushy to anybody. We want to be very pulley into the business. And that's what's happening, okay? And we're going to have some fun at that. So you got to get your partner on board. If you love somebody and they live with you, why don't you get them on these calls? How about that, Doug-gummit? Right? You put them on. Okay? Let us talk to them. Let's make sense. You can't argue with common sense. If you do, you've got none of it. Okay, we got to learn to be bold and put it out there. And then we got to teach the crusade against what the big institutions have been doing to your families. Now it's about time to take America back, one family at a time, and do it where you can feel great about yourself. I mean, can you imagine being steadfast and being out of debt completely in 8 years, what you can do? You see all these examples. This is not hype or pie in the sky. Oh, there you go. That just popped up. But forget the screen for a minute because I'm wrapping up. Not enough time. We'll do it again next week. I'm sorry about that, folks. But I get pumped, okay? I'm pumped because this is real. We're going to deal in your hot markets, warm markets, and I'm telling you this. Listen to this now. You got 50 to 100 people. I'm promising you in the first 30 days we're going to put 3 directs into your business. Now, if you ain't growing, you're dying. And it's not just about recruiting, okay? Recruiting is a lifeblood in anything, in your churches. What do you think the educational institutions are doing? If universities don't get you to go in and waste all your money and put you in student debt, they ain't going to keep their doors open. You got to open up your eyes and see what's in front of you. This is great. Our job is to save people money, put money back in their pockets, not take it out of it. And by the way, we're going to do some great training on freeing up all that money. Coming up out of nowhere, we can find the money that they're blowing that they don't know it without changing their lifestyle, like we said before. So, folks, in 30 days, you're going to have 3 new directs to you, and then in the next 30 days, we're going to teach those 3 how to duplicate that. Isn't that incredible? That's a total then 15. That's 15. 3, 6, 9, 10. That's 12 people on your team right there. And then you're going to go right to ED in the following 90 days because we're going to repeat the process one more time. And let me tell you what the end result is. At the end of 90 days, you'll be paid just under $11,000. It's $10,800. I want to know from you now. If you couldn't spend an extra $11,000 on bills, what would that go toward? I'd love to hear that from your partner. I want to hear what would motivate them to go do that. How about that? You better have a dream in mind. You better have a vision in mind. You better willing to show up and practice. You better be willing to be accountable, because if you are, I'm coming to coach, okay? Dadgummit, and coaching means winning. And I love it, what John was talking about. The only way you win in this business is helping somebody get to where they want to be. You got to push people up. How cool is that? Instead of every other business pushing people down or making people feel crappy. I love this business because I can work with the people I want to work with. So guess what? You know, Joan Hockenstadt didn't feel good today. She still did a meeting. She sucked it up. You know, you got Darlene and just on like clockwork doing the meetings. Pete Daly on the phone tonight. Larry Spear leading in recruiting. You people are studs. I appreciate your time and your effort. I love your teammates. I'm getting to know them. We're going to take this thing to the next level, and it already started. That's what they're talking about. When you hear Max Saunders talk about that, the numbers are growing aggressively, and I'm going to keep on cheerleading every one of you, giving you the feedback for it, because its time has come. There's no question about it. Without me yapping anymore, I'm sorry I went over, and we'll do better next week, I promise you. I want to turn out and let it close out to the great Skylar Whitman, who's been a great guy. These guys are like kids in the sandbox, man, when you talk to them about this dream and opportunity. I love it. So, Skylar, can you close us out for the night?
All right. Thank you so much, Coach. Can you hear me okay?
Sure can.
Okay. Well, hey, listen, everybody, let's, if you can, give your own version of a round of applause to Mr. Steve Young, Coach Young. He always just rolls with the punches, even when we have the technical difficulties. He rolls right with it and just storms right through with great information. So nice work. Thanks so much, Coach. Listen, I won't drag the call out any longer. We do want to go ahead and get this wrapped up. Want to let you know this call has been recorded. Again, it will be posted in the agent back office, and it will be sent out to you shortly with next week's agent training webinar invite. With that being said, I want to let you know that we, again, will be having another unveiling, another tool unveiling next week. And we're not going to have a brand new tool unveiling every single week leading up to the July 16th call, but we will intermittently continue to have new tools that we've been working on for a very long time and put a lot of focus into on these calls. So please continue to join us, even if it's a call where a new tool has not been unveiled. There is a tremendous amount of coaching and insight that will continue on these tools that will show you how to be most effective as an agent and as a leader in your team. Okay. Also, we're going to be having some of our leaders jump on the calls where they can go through and share with you what they are doing to experience the success that they're experiencing. We know that you love to hear from Coach Young. We know that you love to hear from John and Mac. But we also know that you would love to hear from some of the leaders and what they're doing in order to be able to help you to be able to be most effective with your worth business. So with that being said, the last thing that I'll say is we are going to continue to hang on here for just a little bit and answer any questions that you may have. So please feel free to type in any questions that you may have in the comments questions section. We are going to go ahead and end the audio version of the GoToMeeting, but we will respond to any questions that you have. So thanks again. Thank you, everyone, for everything that you're doing. We are absolutely exploding here at the home office. I'll tell you, it's exhausting keeping up with you guys as far as the production and the recruiting that you guys are achieving, but it's a great exhaustion. And I'll tell you right now, this is just the beginning. We are feeling that same energy and explosive electricity that took place prior to the explosion in United First Financial, and we have got so many more tools, such a better product, and better opportunity now than we ever did in that day. So all I can say is hold on. If you want to sit back and watch, you may kick yourself, but for those of you that want to jump in and roll up your sleeves and really take advantage of this opportunity, this is one of those opportunities where people will be saying, I wish I had jumped in, or I'm glad I did. All right, well, thank you, everyone. Please type your questions and comments in the comments section. We'll go ahead and get a response to you. Other than that, have a fantastic evening, and we will see you on next week's call. Thanks for everything you do. Have a great night. Bye-bye.